Make no mistake about it, Ruben Amorim would absolutely love to sign Viktor Gyokeres. There wouldn't be a better fit for Amorim in his search for a goalscorer. However, I love what Amorim had to say about the potential signing of Gyokeres when he was asked ahead of Bilbao, because it is exactly the right approach for him to take, even if it was to diminish United's chances of signing him. Let me explain. Ruben Amorim is trying to rebuild Manchester United. Other managers have failed before. The club's been awful. He needs a striker this summer. The problems that we've had this season, largely, are down to the fact that we haven't got goal scorers, and Gyokeres would be the perfect striker. But I want to run through what Amorim said in his press conference ahead of Bilbao, because I think it's such a spot-on comment that it's worthy of a conversation here together. You can't choose a better striker, I don't think, for Amorim. Gyokeres, an absolutely phenomenal goal scorer at the right age. He's played in the Amorim system. He knows him inside out. He's played in the three at the back system. I don't think you can choose a better one. You can argue about Osman if you want, but from Amorim's perspective, the fact that he knows Gyokeres is a big thing. So he would love to sign him, but it doesn't mean that he wants United to have to beg to sign him. And he doesn't mean that he wants him to come to United for the wrong reasons. And that's why I'm running through this little comment here. He was asked about Gyokeres in his pre-match press conference. He said, look, Gyokeres deal, I haven't spoken to him, I didn't talk to him. But if a player only wants to come to United to play the Champions League, then he won't come. We want players who want to represent United, not players who want to play certain competitions. And for a multitude of reasons, that is absolutely the right thing for him to say. Does that comment reduce United's chances of signing Gyokeres? No, not really, I'll be totally honest. I don't think we could actually physically afford Gyokeres unless we won the Europa League. So those two things are kind of interlinked. But just that premise that the main reason he wants to sign players is because they want to play for the club rather than any personal career goals is so correct. And I've got Bruno Fernandes on screen here. We've had so many signings over the years that have failed. Bruno Fernandes is not one of them. He has put the club before his own interests first for years. We've had so many fair weather signings. That's what I would call them. Signings who, when you're winning, look great, incredible, but when you're down and you're losing against rivals and you concede early and then something happens on the pitch and there's adversity and those players shrink and disappear and they protect themselves rather than doing what is best for the club. They are the players that we need to avoid because, look, this feels like a ludicrous ambition, but it's an ambition of the club to win our next title in our 150th anniversary. The only way that Amorim has any chance of achieving that is by having players who join Manchester United because they truly believe in that as well. Because if you have players who just come to your club because you're playing in a certain competition, because they're just giving you more money than anywhere else. Alexis Sanchez, you know how much I hate that signing. And it will, I think, forever go down as, probably because of the ripple effect of it, the worst signing that we've ever made as a football club. Maybe that's a bit extreme. But the only way that Amorim has any chance of succeeding with this is by having an entire squad of players who believe in it fully, who are absolutely invested in that. And I go back to another thing that Amorim said in his press conference, right? He was asked about Klopp's comments saying turning doubters into believers, and he was asking about the Europa League. And that bit I've highlighted in blue there. Winning the Europa League is not going to change anything when it comes to our problems. It's going to help us to have Champions League next year and more money to spend, but the problems are still there. We have to change the minds of our fans with good decisions, with the academy, with recruitment. This is what we need to take this club back to the top. This is more a shortcut to go to the European games and nothing more than that. The problems we need to solve in a different way with more time. And I need to be really clear on that. And that's why I really enjoyed this comment from Amorim so much. If we sign any player who doesn't join for mainly for the reason of they believe in this project. They believe in this manager. They believe that they can be the striker, the defender, the midfielder, whoever it is, to bring United back to the top. If a player doesn't truly believe that, they will not be a good signing. Because when the chips are down and United are in the trenches, those players will protect themselves. Those players will do what is best for them. And I'll be honest, I can't begrudge. I'm not going to get angry if Gyokeres actually, at this point in his career, goes, no, the age I'm at, I want to prioritise my own ambitions with the Champions League. Okay, that's fine. But that means you're not the right signing for United. I'm not having a go at Gyokeres for having that ambition in any way, shape or form. But it just means that he wouldn't be the right striker right now for United, for Amorim. And that's why that comment stood out to me. Let's see if United sort of follow through on it, but I think they should. And we need more Brunos all across the pitch. And that's why I always found it so weird that Roy Keane kind of had a go at him saying, oh, you wouldn't want to be in the trenches with him. I'm not sure there's many other players in this United squad who would be willing to put their body on the line for the club in more ways than Bruno Fernandes has. It's just, I think it's a shift. For this to have any chance of succeeding, there can't be any weaknesses in the squad. There can't be anybody that wants to pull out of that 50-50 challenge because they want to protect themselves rather than doing what is best for the club. And I just love that from Amorim. Let's see if United sort of follow through on it. But I think it's the right mentality. I think it's the right approach. And even if we miss out on signings, I think in the long term, when it comes, you talk about the cultural reset of the club and all that jazz, this is a big part of it. Players signing for the right reasons and you staying true to that. I just love that from me. Let me know what you think about those comments from Amorim on Gyokeres and what you think about him.